Hi, welcome. My name is Julie Humphreys from the Queensbury Travel Center for AAA Northway. I'm going to be traveling to Alaska this summer. I'm hosting a trip with Princess Cruise Lines. I've been in the business for 27 years, and Alaska has always been on my bucket list. If it's somewhere that you're looking to travel to, please join me this summer, July 10th to the 22nd, with Princess Cruise Lines on the Majestic Princess. We have Kate here from Princess Cruise Lines who's going to tell you all about what we get to see and do on this exciting vacation. Welcome, Kate.
Oh, thanks so much. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Now, Alaska is my absolute favorite destination, so we're going to definitely get Julie up to see it. I want to start off by just saying we love AAA here at Princess Cruises. They are our top travel agency seller of Alaska with us. And because of that, we give them special perks and incentives that they can share with you, their clients. So please take a look at this trip. You're going to get more than you will anywhere else. And we absolutely love AAA Northway. So why Alaska? With Princess, we are voted #1 cruise line in Alaska over 19 times in the past 19 years. Because we offer more choice and more opportunities for it. And we love Alaska. We have 6 ships based in the state from May to September. And the best way to see Alaska is what Julie is sharing with you guys is a cruise tour. Now, what's a cruise tour? It's a 7-day cruise plus land. And that is the absolute best and only way to see Alaska. And why would you go to Alaska? To see glaciers, mountains, and wildlife. That's the premier spot to view all of this. And you also get Denali National Park, Glacier Bay National Park, Inside Passage cruising, Alaska Railroad, and of course, Alaska seafood. The Princess Cruise Tour is designed to show you the best of Alaska. And this tour they've put together for you is absolutely fantastic. And why Princess in Alaska? We spent more than 55 years sailing in the state. We have our exclusive medallion experience that gives you perks on board and top-rated cruises and in-depth cruise tours. We also have partnered with the Discovery Network, which gives us inroads to different shore excursions or land excursions in the state itself with award-winning programs like our Puppies in the Piazza, where we get to bring the puppy sled dogs on board the ship for you guys to interact with them. And these are actually puppies that are going to be trained to race the Alaska Iditarod. So kind of pretty cool. Now, Alaska. I always like to kind of start off with a little bit of history. I was a history major when I was in college. But what do we know about Alaska? It's a 49th state, 60,000 square miles or 365 million acres. There's 5,000 glaciers, 3,000 rivers, and 3 million lakes. In the gray, you'll see the state of New York. That's New York State in relation to the state of Alaska. It is 12 times bigger than the state of New York. Alaska is home to America's highest point, which is Mount Denali at over 20,000 feet, and its deepest water, which is the Aleutian Trench, which plunges 25,000 feet. Not only the highest mountain with Mount Denali, but has 15 other peaks higher than any other mainland U.S. state. It is the land of the midnight sun, where in June and July, which is when you're going, you get 22 hours of direct sunshine in certain parts of the state, one of them being Fairbanks, and again, what Julie has planned for you. This allows plants to grow around the clock, and you really see these enormous vegetation. This is the tour that we're looking at, and I'm going to kind of go through different parts that you'll be visiting. But it is our Alaska 15S tour, which again is exclusive to AAA Travel. And it starts for the land first, and then you would get on board the ship. And we can get these flyers to you. And here's just a map of the state. So our tour starts in Fairbanks, and you're going to see you move down until we board the ship in Whittier. And again, here is what a cruise tour is. You have the cruise, with the 3 ports plus Glacier Bay National Park. You have the train and then the Princess Lodges, which is exclusive for us. And our train gives us direct to the wilderness service from the train right to the ship. And that's what you will experience. And this is just a shot of the train. It is 2 levels. They're domed rail cars. And we have a dining car on the 2nd level and then open air platforms. So you can really experience being in the countryside. And actually, the train is one of the first spots on this open air platform that actually saw my first bear in Alaska, which was pretty cool. And that's what I just said. And this is an interior shot as well. And there's the dining card. And then we also use motor coaches for departures or driving to one place to the other. And here are our lodge locations. So for our cruise tour, we will be looking at the Fairbanks Lodge, the Denali Princess Wilderness Lodge, and the Mount McKinley Princess Wilderness Lodge. And then again, we would jump on the ship in Whittier and sail southbound down to Vancouver. So we would first start with our Fairbanks Lodge. One of the big things people do here, or what's included, is the panning for gold, our Discovery riverboat cruise, where it's a family-operated riverboat, and you get to see great scenes in Fairbanks. You actually stop at a native village and visit there. Next, we would go to the Denali Princess Wilderness Lodge. It's 1 mile from Denali National Park. The lodge overlooks the Nianu River. There's hot tubs, shops situated throughout the property. And I'll just kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. It is 1 mile from the north entrance of Denali National Park. There's restaurants, saloons, and as I said, hot tubs, gym facilities, everything. It's an absolutely breathtaking area. All of our lodges are located on riverbanks, so it just gives you the best scenery. So there you go. And we're spending 2 nights there. Our outdoor area. And then the National History Tour is included in your cruise tour. So again, Denali National Park is 6 million acres. You would take the Natural History Tour, which is about 5 hours. You'll notice it's a school bus instead of a motor coach. That is because the United States Park Service will only allow school buses in, not the heavier motor coaches, because they want to preserve the park. So as you're driving through, you have the opportunity to see animals and different sights through the park. It's absolutely breathtaking. You can actually, and here's a map of it, kind of shows you what you get to see. There we go. And again, Denali's Big Five. These are the things people want to go to Alaska to see and experience. And hopefully you see them all in the park, but there's opportunities throughout your whole vacation to view them. There's also the visitors center that you can go to, and they can help and show you how to arrange even just walking tours on your own through the park. There's actually in Denali National Park a free dog sledding demonstration. They actually would take you on a bus from the visitor center up into the park itself, and you see where they have the sled dogs and would show you how they work them and then they drive the sled. So it's kind of pretty cool. There's a lot to see. There's suspension bridges all over. It's a really cool area. Next, we would go to Mount McKinley Princess Wilderness Lodge. And this is at the south end of Denali National Park. So Denali Princess Lodge is at the north end. Mount McKinley Princess Wilderness Lodge is at the south end. And the Mount McKinley Princess Lodge is 41 miles from Mount Denali. It used to be called Mount McKinley. That's why the lodge was named that. But the name changed over to Mount Denali. The people in Alaska always called it Mount Denali or the Great One. So it was changed over. So it's Denali Mountain or Mount Denali. And again, 20,000 feet. The lodge itself is 146 acres within Denali National Park, and again, borders the south side. And here's just some shots of it. It's just breathtaking. We actually, with our partnership with the Discovery Network, if anyone's ever seen the Tree Masters, they built a tree house at the lodge where they'll have special events, cocktail hours, different things. You can have maple syrup tasting or sap tasting. It's a pretty neat place to be, and that's what they're showing you there in that picture. But it's all about the mountain. And what people do, you can tour through the property on the lodge, but people just sit outside or in the lodge itself to look at this spectacular scenery. Now, the mountain is visible about 40 to 50% of the time, depending on weather. And because the sun is out much longer than we experience here, you can leave a wake-up call. So if it wasn't out during the day or you wanted to see it more in the dusk of 2 or 3 in the morning, you can leave a wake-up call with the front desk and they'll give you a holler to let you know that the mountain is out and visible. And then we would train down from McKinley to Whittier. And again, Whittier is the port where we pick up the ship. Now, this is showing the Coral Princess. You guys are actually looking at the Majestic Princess, which is a newer vessel. But the ship and the train are in the same location. We actually would check you in for the cruise right on board that train, and you get off, cross the street, and board the ship. And there you go. You can see the train and the ship right at the pier. It's so easy, and it makes it so convenient for you. I always like to put this up because people always say, what's the weather like in Alaska? And I'll show you some shots. And it's gotten warmer as years have gone on. But when you're looking at in July, you still have good bear fishing and whale watching. And again, here's just our path on the cruise portion itself. So we would board in Whittier, go through College Fjord, Prince William Sound, and then get to Glacier Bay. Now, what we do at Princess is we bring the destination on board the ship. We never just want to sail to the destination. We want to bring it on board. So we have naturalists on the entire voyage. In Glacier Bay, we have park rangers that come on. We have Libby Riddles that boards in one of the ports, who was the first woman to win the Alaska Iditarod. So she comes on and does a demonstration and explanation of the training and the amount of effort it takes to run that race. And here's just some shots of it. We do the lumberjack show where they throw axes on board, but it's all safe. And there's our rangers. And there's Libby Riddles down in the corner with the puppy. And again, of course, the food is always a big component of your cruise experience with Princess. We have a junior ranger and teen program. There's an on-deck fish buffet. There's the Chef's Gala Alaska dinner. And we actually even bring specialties from the different ports on board the ship itself. It's pretty cool. And these are the ports of call that we would hit: Juneau, Skagway, and Ketchikan. But first, on your cruise tour, it would be Glacier Bay. Now, Glacier Bay National Park displays massive glaciers that stretch 3.2 million acres from the St. Elias and Fairweather mountain ranges to the end of the fjords. It's home to humpback whales, sea otters, and porpoises and harbor seals. It's breathtaking. The ship comes in the morning. It's just peaceful. There's really no description. These are real shots of it. It's just that breathtaking. It's quiet. You have the National Park Ranger that comes on board and discusses what you're seeing and what you're going through. And you can watch the glaciers calve, which is when the ice falls off the glacier. And there's another shot of the ship right there. There's nothing like it. It's hard to describe. And I know these pictures are amazing. It almost looks like they're not real, but it is. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'm showing you a picture of my child in Glacier Bay National Park. And this is a picture I took. But I want you to realize that people sit around watching and just spending time in the park, in the area itself, on lounge chairs and different things. Once we leave Glacier Bay National Park, we would hit Skagway, which is known as the gateway to the Klondike. This was the last town folks were in before they went searching off for gold. It has unique frontier style storefronts that are protected. They cannot be changed. And it also has the White Pass Rail, which was built in 1898 during the gold rush, the Klondike Gold Rush. And it is one of the oldest, narrowest railroads in the world. And it follows the path those took that were in search of gold. It's a little scary when you're on there, but I've done it quite a few times. It's pretty neat to see. It's just another thing. And there's so many things to do. And this is a view right outside of Skagway. I think I put a picture in. You're walking in the street, and these are salmon swimming because there's lakes and rivers all over. And I just took a picture with my camera. They're that close to you. So it's kind of really cool. Next, we get into Juneau, which is the state capital. So yeah, there it came up. It's the state capital of Alaska. It's actually landlocked. So it is the only state capital that is landlocked. And the joke always is, do you know what the state capital of Alaska is? Of course, it's Juneau. The only way in is by air or sea. And it is surrounded by Mount Roberts and Mount Juneau. And that provides the background. And the big excursions here would be, again, whale watching or Mendenhall Glacier. A lot of people, you can take a helicopter, a plane, and walk on the glacier itself. It's 13 miles long. You also have Mount Roberts Tramway, which is a short 6-minute trek to the top of Mount Roberts, which is about 1,800 feet above the city. Again, just spectacular. One of my family's favorite things is Tracy's King Crab, which is right in town. It's next to the Red Dog Saloon, which is a very famous pub in the city of Juneau itself. But the best legs in town are Tracy's King Crab Shack that gets very busy. And again, they're very serious, focusing on the crab legs. And then next port would be Ketchikan. Now, Ketchikan is known as the city on stilts. It was actually called the first city, or the salmon capital of the world. It's known for its Creek Street boardwalk. The town itself is about 3 miles long and 3 blocks wide. But very cool. Known for totem poles. It's got the world's largest collection of totem poles. And one of the excursions here is fishing. You can probably do it in every port, but it seems Ketchikan is where we always go. And again, this is my son catching a fish, but I like to tell this story. So I'm not a big fish person. I don't really like it. My family loves to eat it and go. So they go about 5:30 in the morning out to go fishing, which is great. And they have a great time. My son catches it. And of course, the people that run this shore excursion will encourage you to send all your fish home. They pack it in ice, they send it home, and it's waiting for you when you arrive back for me in New York. I don't really like fish, and I sure as heck don't want it waiting on my doorstep when I come home. So I know we do this great thing on board called Cook My Catch. So my son tells me he caught the fish, he wants to send it home. I'm like, no, have the captain of that vessel send it to the chef, and they will cook it for you. And there's the fish. And they bring it back on board. It takes them a day. They ask you how you want it prepared. And this is how they wanted it prepared. Or actually, they brought out the head because my son caught it. I guess he got the hook in the face of the fish. And there we go. So it's one of the fun things you can do. You can fish in the morning and then eat it that night or the next day. But it's a fun thing. And again, I just want to show you shots of people in Alaska, because a lot of times people think, oh my gosh, it's freezing up there. And as we're in the cold weather here, It might not be a destination that you're looking for, but really it's gotten warmer, but it's a place where it's a little chilly in the morning, and as you go on through the day, it gets warmer and warmer. And you'll even see people swimming in Alaska in bathing suits. Especially when we're looking to send you in July. It's still a great relaxing vacation, plus this majestic scenery. And as I mentioned, our partnership with the Discovery Network gives us inroads and certain perks that we can offer with their television shows, Animal Planet, Discovery Recommended. Again, they have Cook My Catch. They bring the puppies on board, Libby Riddles. We can do whitewater rafting, all different things on board to make it such an exciting an experience for everybody. And then these are just shots for whale watching cruises that you can do again in most ports of call. And there's the Cook My Catch fish and the fishing and just different things, and Libby Riddles again. And it's our North to Alaska program and our park rangers on board. And there's our puppies. We love the puppies in the piazza that you can interact with and play with and learn how they're trained. And then you're cruising into the inside passage. And again, opportunity to see wildlife, your whole cruise, your absolute whole cruise. I always recommend people for Alaska, when you're looking to go, you absolutely want to make sure to have a balcony so you can just wake up in the morning and look out and see the scenery. And you never know when you're going to see animals or wildlife. And again, here is your exclusive AAA tour, the 5-night land program, followed by the 7-day Voyage of the Glaciers cruise. So it's an exciting, fun time to be on board, to see all the sights. And here's just some shots of the interior part of the ship, or outside on the pool deck area. Because beside the view outside, you have a beautiful princess ship inside with 3 main dining rooms, specialty restaurants, buffets, our international cafe, pizzerias, always voted best pizza at sea on board Princess, and now burger, I believe. We just got that title. But I'm just showing you some shots of the ship itself to give you an idea of what you can experience there, a full casino. So you're out all day seeing these beautiful sights, breathing this beautiful air, and then you have the cruise on board in the evening to have entertainment, whether it's show, special restaurant, casino, or just sit and relax and listen to music and our numerous bands and entertainers. As I started this, we love Alaska. We absolutely do. We do the best job in the state. You will not be disappointed. It is an experience of a lifetime. Here are our AAA Northway travel advisors that are anxious and willing to help you make a plan for your trip here to Alaska. Please give a holler to anyone you work with, phone or email. Again, that's our AAA Northway. And I thank you so much for joining me today. Thanks. I hope we see you on board.